Welcome back to my channel. so, from the title, I'm sure you can tell that this is going to be a wedding guest makeup look, I guess, if you want to call it. It's actually many hours past the wedding. I actually attended the wedding and came back home now, and I'm recording this intro now because your girl was running late and had to run out the door without recording an intro. So, here's my makeup like almost 5 hours after I did it. Like I did this makeup at 11 a.m. Yeah, 11 a.m. and it's like 4:30 at the moment. So you can see that it held up pretty well. Um, it hasn't broken down a lot. I was wearing a mask the whole time, and like it's I have the mask right here. My ladies, if you can relate to all this makeup. But yeah, it was a beautiful wedding ceremony. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to attend it. But yeah, I guess this is my look. This is the dress I was wearing. Really pretty. I got this at Macy's. So super cute. Had a good time. And if you guys want to see how I recreated this look, keep watching because I'm gonna show you. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna transition now.
All right, let's get started. This is me barefaced, just completely naked. And I'm showing you the dress that I'm gonna take inspiration from today. That's the dress I'm gonna be wearing to the wedding. So I wanna, have my makeup look around it. I'm gonna start off with my sunscreen. Since I know I'm gonna be out in the sun, I wanna ensure that I'm protecting my skin from the UV rays that damage your skin and give you wrinkles. So I'm using the La Roche-Posay Broad Spectrum Face and Body SPF 60. I use the one for kids just because it's more gentle on my skin, and I've found that I break out with certain sunscreen. I'm then following that with my moisturizer. I use the Nivea Soft, and you guys know I like to prep my skin for makeup. So I'm giving myself a gentle massage, just tap, 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 going from the inside, dragging outwards to just tighten up my pores and drain all of those fluids and make me look, less puffy. So anyway, I'm gonna prep my lips now with my lip balm. I'm using the Bioscreen Ginkolium lip balm. And then I'm going into my foundation. I'm testing out a new foundation. I've had this in my collection for a really long time, and I thought, why not? Because the pandemic, and I haven't left the house to try it on before. So why not try it on a day where you want to look good, right? Even if it melts off my face and looks nasty. I'm just kidding. It's L'Oreal. They got my back. I normally use the NYX primer that you've seen me use in my previous videos, but today I'm going to try out the little tester that came with my foundation. It's the L'Oreal Pro Matte. It had a strange smell and it was white. I wasn't expecting that because the primers I've used before were silicone based, so they're more translucent. But hey, why not? We'll try it on. So I apply that to my T-zone where I normally get oily. I have to mention that I get dry like at the tip of my nose, so that's something I'm struggling with at the moment. I'm now going to go in with my concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I'm just going into my under eye area, not dragging it all the way down the way they show you in the other videos. I'm just trying to be really natural. I don't want it to look too cakey. I did try a concealer brush to apply this concealer to my skin, but I just prefer the way it applies with my fingers, so I'm going back to my fingers. Once that's done, I'm going in with my sexy mother pucker lip gloss from Soap and Glory. This is a plumping lip gloss, so you know those glosses that give you that tingly sensation that feels like you got stung by 10,000 bees? Yeah, that one. It burns, you guys. This stuff burns. If you don't like pain, especially on sensitive areas of your body like your lips, skip this step. But yeah, I just wanted to see. I haven't used it in a long time. I just wanted to try it out again. Once that's done, I'm gonna now get into my eyes. I'm gonna prep my eyes, just setting the concealer that I had dragged onto my lids with my translucent powder from Rimmel. This is the Stay Matte, and I'm just setting that concealer so I can prepare it for the shadow. And you can see me suffering a little bit because my lips are on fire. Beauty is pain. Should it be? I don't think it should be, but hey. All right, I'm now going in with my Tati palette, and I'm using the matte white shade all over my lids. And that's the matte aura shade. I'm applying that all over my lids to prep for any other colors that I put on. So I'm gonna follow the colors mainly in Story and Poet in those themes. Now I'm just going in with Story and I'm dragging that into my crease. So just trying to deepen my crease. I'm using matte Story and I'm just going in and out trying to deepen up my crease area. Once I have that completely blended, I'm going in with Ritual in matte and I'm just going back into the crease just to deepen it up. So blending is always key. Make sure that you blend, 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 make it look nice and even. And I'm just going back and forth with Ritual and Story just to deepen everything up. I'm now going in with Matte Poet. This is the deep pink shade in the palette. This is probably literally my favorite shade in the palette. I absolutely adore this shade. I don't know what about it. It just complements my skin really well. And I just like the way it looks. So I'm trying to now blend this out into the previous two shades that I applied. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth until it looks nice and blended. I have to mention, it took me about almost 2 hours to do this makeup look. And this video is 20 minutes long. So I had to chop a lot of things from this video and I realized the longest time spent on any part is my eyeshadow. I take so much time to do my shadow. I don't I'm just there blending. So just to let you know, blending is key and don't be disheartened if it starts to look really crazy because it's gonna get fixed at the end when you go into liner. So yeah, I'm just making sure that everything's blended. I'm stepping back, looking at myself, seeing if anything needs to be fixed, and just going back and forth until I'm satisfied by the way it looks. So I'm taking Ritual and Story and I'm just putting that in my lower lash line just to smoke things out and make it look put together. If you don't like the look of shadow on your lower lids, you can completely skip this step. I used to skip this back in the day when I started doing my makeup. I didn't like the way it looked, but over time I kind of learned how to perfect it, and yeah, I think it looks much better when it's all nicely blended. Now going into Metallic Soothe, I'm usually using my fingers to press this onto the center of my lid, dragging that slowly into the inner corner. And I'm just using my fingers as the best way to apply metallics and glitters. And I'm just patting it onto my lid. I'm not dragging this and I'm not pulling, just pat and just build up the intensity until you're satisfied with how shiny it is. Step back, look at yourself, add some more color wherever you feel like you need a little more pop. So I'm taking my foundation that I showed you earlier. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Matte Foundation. And I'm just going to go in with my Real Techniques sponge to apply this to my skin. I'm first going to dab a little bit onto my skin and then I'm taking my sponge to blend it out. I feel like this is a better way to apply it because when you try to pick up the foundation with the sponge directly, it soaks up too much. So I prefer to just apply it onto my skin first and then blend it out with the sponge. And that just helps you get better coverage as well. Using this foundation for the first time, I wasn't too disappointed. It actually seemed to match my skin really well, and it held up pretty well. I didn't see it break up too much, especially around my nose area is where I tend to see my makeup break apart, but it seemed to hold really well, so I was quite impressed by that. And you can see that even though it's a matte foundation, it wasn't extremely drying to my face. It blended out really well, it stayed on for a long time, and it looked nice and glowy and radiant. To set all of this, I'm going to use my translucent powder from Rimmel. This is the Stay Matte, and I'm just using a giant fluffy brush to buff that into my face. Bless you. Yeah, translucent powders can do that sometimes. Anyone else had this experience where you just have to sneeze when you apply your powder? I'm now going to set everything with my setting spray. This is once again the L'Oreal Infallible setting spray, and I'm using the cover of the Tati palette to dry this up. If you've watched my previous videos, you know how I like to do my setting spray. I let it dry to about 75%, and then I go in with my sponge and just dab around my face to pick up any excess powder, any excess oils, and just gives your face a very smooth, clean look. I'm now going in with my Physicians Formula Muru Muru Butter Highlighter. This thing smells so good, and you just want to eat it, but don't. Don't eat it. Don't eat your makeup. I'm just going to apply this to the high points of my face, starting at my cheekbones, just on the very tips, and I'm dragging that a little bit into my brow bone, the very tip of my brow bone. And who doesn't like to shine, right? So go ahead and add a little bit more, why not? You can never go wrong with highlighter, so give yourself a nice glow. I'm now going in with my traditional feline flick. This is my go-to eyeliner look. You already know how to do this from my previous two videos. If you have not seen those, I'm gonna link it here in the video, and you can follow that to see how I do it, because it's so difficult to get this right in front of my laptop. So I do one side here, and I'm gonna do the other side in my washroom because I need to be up close into the mirror to ensure that I'm doing this perfect. And I'm going to a wedding, so I want to make sure that this is A+. As you can see, it looks really cute, makes your eyes more defined, and it just looks pretty. I like it. I love doing a wing. So I'm gonna use my Rimmel Scandalize to line my waterline. I like to keep my waterline thicker towards the outside and thin it out as I come to the inner waterline. If you like to do it another way and like to line your entire lower lash line, go ahead and do that. For me, I like it just on the outer edge. I'm now going to go in with my one and only L'Oreal again. They should sponsor me at this point. But I'm using the Voluminous mascara. That did not work out the way I wanted it to, and I made a mess. But I'll fix it towards the end of this video. Let's carry on with our makeup. I'm blotting off the excess oils and taking off that torturous lip gloss from my lips, and I'm just going to prep it with a little bit of balm just to ensure that my lips don't dry out, because I am going to be going in with a liquid lip. I'm using the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, and this is in the shade Beyond the Bleachers, I believe. I'm going to link it in the description box in case you want to check it out. But this is my party lip look. I wouldn't wear this every day, but if I'm going to a big event, this is the standard lip look that I like to do. It's not too red and it's not too pink, somewhere in between, and it's just perfect for my skin tone. I love how it looks. I don't use lip liners. I know a lot of people think it's crazy to do a liquid lip look without a liner, but not for me. I don't like it because my lips are really dry and chappy, and if I try to do a liner and a liquid lip, I'm gonna look like a draught. So I just stick to one. I just do the liquid lip, and I do add my moisturizer under it. I mean my lip balm under it. Because I forgot to show you earlier, here's the liquid lip that I used. And that brings us to the end of this makeup look. I think it turned out pretty well. I'm quite happy with the way it looks, actually. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think I did a good job? Does it look good with my dress? Maybe you don't like it, which is fine. Let me know, and I'll try to fix things up. But I felt really cute, not gonna lie. I had a really good time, and I was really happy. It was a really beautiful day, and everything was so perfect. Also want to show you guys the shoes that I paired this with. I really love those shoes. They're so glittery and cute. And that's it for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day ahead, and I hope to see you in my next video. Ciao!